Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is Emily Anderson with FranNet. There's a new business in our inventory, and the irony is it's not necessarily new, but it might be new to you. And it really caught our attention. I was so excited about it that I reached out to franchise rep Mike Welch to see if he'd jump on a call with me for a couple of minutes to give us some highlights that I could share with you so you can access information at your convenience and hear about just some of the latest opportunities in franchising. Here's why we like it. This is a recession-resistant industry, and it's semi-absentee. I would say about half of our placements over the years have been in these semi-absentee or semi-passive ownership models where you as the owner can maintain your full-time salaried position and quietly start a business on the side. It's very scalable, which Michael will be speaking to. Repeat customers, repeat clientele. So we're not hunting over and over again for business. And especially it's a need-based business that provides a need with a unique approach. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mike to tell us more about the opportunity. Mike.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the introduction, Emily. And the brand Emily's talking about is Roosters Men's Grooming Center. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the hair care industry and the characteristics that are so spectacular. We're going to talk about men's grooming. We're going to talk a little bit deeper about the Roosters brand, who is the Roosters Guest, why you as a prospective franchise owner would want to investigate the Roosters opportunity, and then who is our ideal candidate. So when you think about the hair care industry, it's often overlooked. It's very rarely the first place that people start. But I'll tell you what, it's hard to find a better business when you look at the foundational characteristics. We've got a $65 billion a year business that is as recession and resistant as any business you'll ever find. I don't use the term recession proof because I don't know that anything is anything proof. But as far as being resistant to the recession, ask yourself a question. Did you get your hair cut any less in 2009 than you did in 2018? And the answer to that is, of course not. I still got my hair cut because biology makes it grow and it has to be cut. So it's a need-based business, right? I might want an expensive cup of coffee. I might want, a number of things, certain memberships and stuff like that, but I need to get a haircut. Okay, so it's a need-based business and not a want-based business. And it is as technology proof. I do use the word proof here because the hair care industry is as technology proof as any you'll ever find because you'll never download an app on your iPhone that lets it cut your hair. Jeff Bezos is building drones, but he's not building any that will safely and stylishly cut your hair, clean up, and fly out. So that's the one exception to the proof rule. I would tell you that we're just about technology proof. It's a cash business with no receivables. Our customers come in happy, they leave happier, they give us money, they come back next month. We don't have net 30 terms, we don't have net 60 terms. We're not chasing down cash or hoping that people pay some portion of their bill. So it's a beautiful cash business in that. So we have very few employees. You're going to be hiring skilled, technically trained employees who've gone to post-secondary education. 7 to 8 employees, very employee light and very capital light. The all-in on a Roosters Men's Grooming Center is going to be somewhere, depending upon what town we're in, what city we're in, and then obviously what kind of facility we go into, somewhere in that $225,000 to $275,000 range. Men's grooming. It's important to understand that men's grooming is the fastest growing segment of the hair care business, period, by a long shot. And it's currently dominated by independents. We're competing against independent mom and shop barbers who don't have strong systems and support around customer acquisition, customer retention, employee retention, marketing, real estate, all of those things. So it's ripe for a market leader. Now, when you think about Roosters, our mission statement is that we're committed to providing an authentic experience and a high level of service at a sensible price. Our focus is the quality of service for every guest every time, and that's notably absent. We live in a very, very big middle segment where there's the underserved, the value chains, and I won't name them, but you know where you can go and get an $8 or a $12 or a $15 haircut. And then there's the very high end where oftentimes guys are going into their wife's salon to try to get a great haircut. And what's being missed there is a high quality service for a guy at a fair price. Okay, and that's where Roosters comes in. So we were founded in 1999 in Lapeer, Michigan. So we're a 20-year-old brand. So we have history and we have proof in the business model. We merged with Regis in 2011. Right now we have 85 locations in 23 states. Now, what's important to understand here is that right now Regis is pouring the rocket fuel on Roosters. Regis is the holding company for 55 different salon brands, and up to date we've taken 4 brands to the big national stage. Supercuts with 2,700 locations, Smart Style inside of Walmart Supercenters with 2,200 locations, Cost Cutters with 1,000 locations, and then First Choice up in Canada with almost 500 locations. And Roosters is the 5th brand that we're going to grow aggressive nationally. And it's important to note that Regis never misses. And so in the last 3 months alone, we had 85 locations after 20 years. And in the last 3 months alone, we've awarded over 40 licenses. So now is the time to look at Roosters. Okay, and if you've never experienced the Roosters brand, our values are authentic experience, full service, and quality grooming. So this is just the menu of our services. Our basic cut is our club cut. It's a personal consultation, precision haircut, shampoo, scalp massage, hot towel treatment. We finish with a style, a blow dry, a dust of powder. Okay, that's our basic service. And all of the services take place, by the way, in a semi-private partitioned area. So you're not sitting in a big fishbowl staring at all the other guys. You're sitting in a semi-private partitioned area, and there's a basin at every location. So we're not parading guys across the room to finish the service. It all takes place in a comfortable semi-private environment. There's just a list of some of our services. We focus on the 4 main things that generate revenue, which is going to be cuts, shaves, product, and then color. Who's the Roosters Guest? It's a busy professional that values their time. I always tell folks that I don't need all C-level people. This is for the 25 to 65-year-old male and their sons or grandsons. They tend to have a little bit of discretionary income, but they see their time at Roosters as an opportunity to relax. It's a little guilt-free luxury. It's a little bit of a respite from a busy man's month. Again, I mentioned the primary guest, and the fastest growing segment of our business, which is the thing we're most interested in, is the millennials. Millennials are very interested in experience and in service, and we find that those guys really love Roosters. So as I mentioned before, why would you look at Roosters? It's the right place at the right time. Now is the time to be looking at Roosters Men's Grooming Center. And riches are in the niches. As I mentioned before, it's a very underserved space in the market. We're appointment driven, and that can't be understated, because if you think about yourself as a consumer, how many retailers let you walk in and out of their door without ever generating the next revenue opportunity? Most of them do, right? They just let you walk right out. They don't secure the next revenue opportunity, and to us that seems like a big miss. So when someone checks out of a Roosters, we book their next appointment. So our owners don't have to lie awake at night hoping that somebody comes back because they're already on the books. Our customers don't have to think about where they're going to go or when. So it's it's predictability for them, and it's predictability for our owners. And that predictability drives a very, very high level of loyalty and repeat customers. We're also owned by Regis, and Regis brings an embarrassment of riches from a support standpoint. Regis is the largest salon company in the history of the world by almost 3 times, and the depth and breadth of our resources and our teams and our support cannot be understated. Everything from real estate to construction to marketing to recruiting to products and everything in between. If it's germane to the success of the business, Regis supports our franchisees in that arena. So again, why Roosters? Recession resistant. It's an Amazon-proof business. It's a need business, not a want business. We have loyal, long-term, repeat customers. And it's a fun business, right? There's something to be said about having a fun, sexy business. Now, it's not the end-all, be-all. We've got to make money. Everybody has a profit motive. This isn't a philanthropic endeavor for people. But there's something to be said about being around cool people. And stylists and barbers are fun, creative, cool people. Our guests walk in a good mood because they're happy to be there to get away from the world for a half an hour. We make them look good. We make them feel good. We book their next appointment, and they walk out happier than they were when they walked in. So there's a lot of value in that, and it's a proven business. We've been around for 20 years, and as I mentioned before, we're competing against independents, and it's also, as I mentioned, backed by the global leader in hair care, Regis. So now this is important, and I think it surprises some people, but we're wildly particular with regards to who we will award a franchise to and who we want to partner with for a long-term period of time. So what we're looking for are people that have management leadership experience, a high level of emotional intelligence, because you are interacting with creative, right-brained, artistic people. You have to be an excellent communicator. You don't have to know a thing in the world about barbering or cosmetology. As a matter of fact, I can probably count on one hand in all of Regis how many of our franchise partners have any barbering or cosmetology experience, because that's not what they do as an owner. They're working on the business, not in it, and a manager is running the day-to-day operations of the business, and the owner is focusing on managing that manager. We're looking for folks who have a minimum of a $750,000 net worth, and they need to have about $150,000 of liquidity, and that's just what the banks are going to look for to loan money. Our investment range, I show the high end here because I'd rather talk about the worst case scenario than the best possible case scenario. So the high end of the total investment range would be in the 275 to 325 range. The reality is by the time we put one on the ground, somebody's paid franchise fees, they've executed a grand opening marketing strategy, and they've got 3 months of working capital, we tend to come in on average in that 225 to 275 range. 325 might be some of the higher end. The coasts tend to be more expensive, so we certainly want to represent that as part of the range. So with that said, I would hope that you guys would all contact FranNet and talk with anyone on that team to take a further look into the Roosters Men's Grooming Center opportunity. And Emily, I'll turn it back over to you to wind it down. Thank you so much for the time today. Look very much forward to working with you guys on this project. A lot of momentum, and very excited to be working with the candidates that you guys bring to the table. They're always the best.
Mike, thank you so much. That was so much information. It was so packed. I really appreciate it. For those of you that are listening, if you'd like to take next steps, let's keep talking. You can, for one, complete your personal franchise assessment if you haven't already. There's a link provided right there. And or get in touch with your local FranNet consultant. If you don't know who that FranNet consultant is, you can contact me directly, and I will personally introduce you to the specialist in your local area. You can contact me at 503-726-5935. Mike, thank you so much. Congratulations on just the power behind Roosters and the expansion, and we continue to support you and wish you the best of luck. Take care, everybody.
Thanks so much, Emily. Appreciate it.